We have a 2003 Toyota Corolla that has seen better days. And its engine has seen a lot better days. What we're going to cover today is we're going to do a very simple valve cover gasket change on this, and while we're in here we're going to go ahead and do the spark plugs, clean the fuel injection, and we might even dare to open up that air filter box and see what's inhabiting it. So this ought to be a fun-filled video of a lot of laughs, but be informative on how to change a valve cover gasket on a 1.8 2003 Toyota. Alright, as the old air compressor is going to be powering up, we're going to go ahead and pull off the bolts here. It's already missing two. Cover just lifts off. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. Alright, we're going to start taking some of this stuff off. So we took out all the bolts holding down the valve cover, and you got to take off your spark plug coil wires. You want to pry up on this little tab here, being very careful not to break it, and then slide this off. And repeat this step on all four of those, and then we're going to be able to get this bolt out right here and take this rail out, and then we should be able to do the two PVC hoses right here and get the valve cover off the top of the car. And we'll see what we're looking at. We got all the wiring taken off of the spark plugs, all the bolts out of the intake manifold except these two. We go ahead and undo the spark plug coil top. Take off those. Those just pull out. That gives you access to the plugs that we're going to go ahead and change. Just take out those last two bolts right there, and the intake should come right off. It's really not even just held on by anything now. It just lifts right off. That's the intake. Excuse me, the valve cover gasket. The intake's down here. Getting ahead of myself here. It's a one-piece gasket. It goes all the way around, and it also has the spark plug gasket in there. This thing is so old and dry rotted that it's just basically stuck to the head. So we're going to get a little scraper out and pry this baby off and put a new gasket on, and hopefully solve the oil leak problem, because it looks like it's just leaking right down the back side of the motor over here. When you do put these back in, you see there's a gob of goo here and a gob of goo here. You put those in there. Sometimes there's four, but this one only looks like there's two. Those are places where you want to put a little bit of gasket sealer to prevent it from leaking. Other than that, you just put the gasket inside the valve cover and put it back on, and you're done with it. We're almost done with this project. We're going to go ahead and change the plugs while we're here. So I took a small scraper and a real small screwdriver, and I chased the gasket all the way around and loosened it up. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that old gasket off there. Get it out of the way. And you can see these are pretty simple. They just sit inside the head, or the valve cover. But the funny part about this is that this is so old. I mean, this is supposed to be pliable rubber. It's just snap, crackle, and popping. There's nothing left of this stuff. It's its days of sealing are over. The only non-funny part is that these little guys in here, they're so old and dry rotted that stuff just breaks off. And of course you can't leave any of those pieces of plastic in there, so now I got to get my little screwdriver out and just sit there and take my time and get all that out of there, and just, it's going to be a fun job. Got those little O-ring gaskets out of there. Now we're going to have to go around here and we're going to have to clean up all this crud in here. And the best product I've ever found in my life so far to work for this stuff is this product from AMSOIL. It's their Power Foam. What I like to do is just spray a little bit on the rag right there. And I'm going to go ahead and take that and just you know, go around and kind of clean up the area in the back here and get all that junk off. And this stuff is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it cleans everything off. And we got that from that guy over at trustedoil.com. He sent us a can of this to use, and we love that stuff. We use it on cleaning. It's a degreaser. It's phenomenal. AMSOIL Power Foam. Go check out the guys over at trustedoil.com. I've seen some guys out there on the internet that actually scrub the inside of their valve cover. You know what? It's got 250,000 miles on it. All I'm going to do is run this cloth rag through here and get all the crunchy stuff out so the gasket has a nice place to sit. And again, we use the AMSOIL Power Foam just to get all this stuff off here. So just go ahead and clean up all these little places that the gasket sits. And you should have a nice place for the gasket to sit in there. And like I said, there's no reason to clean up the inside of this and scrub it with a brush. Yeah, if it was a $40,000 engine and a Ferrari, maybe, but this is a Toyota Corolla. Like I said, all it's trying to do is get the crunchy stuff out. So we go ahead and change the spark plugs while we're here. As we loosen the number 3 spark plug, this is where the oil seal goes to keep the oil from going down here. And once you pull your wrench out, you can see that it's a nice goopy mess in there. So as we change out these spark plugs, we'll see just how much oil was just going somewhere where it wasn't supposed to go. Now, here's one of those old guy tricks that I like teaching the younger folks out there that come over here. There's no way to get them plugs out, and of course they didn't come out with a spark plug wrench. So you get yourself a piece of heater hose, power steering hose, whatever you got laying around, old fuel line hose from the boats, and just take that piece of hose and shove it over the top of that spark plug. Twist it a little bit. Oh, and out comes Mr. Spark Plug. And doesn't that just look nasty? I'll tell you what, those plugs needed to be changed. What I'm looking forward to is the next one, number 3. Oh, yeah. See if we can get this in the light where there's not a whole lot left on that plug. And my personal favorite. Oh, look at that. That's sporty. We're going to put that over here and yeah, that bad boy. That one's just gooey. Yeah, needless to say, when we start this car back up, I'm predicting number 3 cylinder to spatter a little bit of oil. You know what? There's no tip on that plug. That plug is gone. Yep, I'm thinking it needed plugs. Not a bad thing to do.